Go.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Pearl, and my company is The Rare Affair. I am operating out of southeastern Mass, which is about 30 minutes from Boston. I've been in the planning business for more than 5 years. I started as a corporate event planner and came home to take care of my family. I decided to start my own business in 2006, and I've had 3 wedding seasons so far. In those seasons, I've planned approximately 27 weddings. There's a couple of showers and bar mitzvahs mixed in there. But I have, with those 3 years, only planned 1 wedding per weekend. I try to only do 1 per weekend because it's really busy with the rehearsal. I produce the rehearsal as well as the wedding and possibly a post-wedding brunch or a barbecue, something. Some brides like to mix everything in the whole weekend. As far as what my style is, I love thinking outside of the box. I love being creative. I always tell my brides that this is the first event that they're hosting as a married couple, so it should be about them. I truly believe that the wedding itself, the ceremony, is completely sacred, and they should really be serious about that. But once you walk through the doors of the church, synagogue, off the grass of the event, just go ahead and do what you want. I really believe that you should really do it up, and that it should reflect your personality. Especially if you're a beer and hot dogs kind of guy. I don't think you should have like a free bay salad with walnuts and, you know, frou-frou. I think you should really have it about you and the things that you like, because I think it reflects on your guests. So with that, my first wedding that I ever produced, the bride actually wore a fuchsia wedding gown, had a casino room. The room itself, the reception room, was feng shui. We had done fire and water and earth and stone, and everything was just so wrapped up. And for the ceremony, we had Glycerin by Bush, introduced her down to for the processional. And we also had a live action painter on site who painted the ceremony as well as the reception. So there's my out-of-the-box thinking right there. One way that I saved a wedding was a bride named Yami, who had actually 3 different weddings we had planned for her. The first was a restaurant/nightclub wedding. She got really overwhelmed with the planning process and having to make several decisions rapidly. So she decided to scrap that wedding and go to Moon Palace down in Cancun. Then the swine flu hit, as well as kidnapping, and she just felt, you know, I don't want to deal with any kidnapping with the, you know, the cartels that are down there. And she decided to quit the whole wedding at Moon Palace and use the venue for her after party when they were supposed to come back from Moon Palace. So we had to stuff 260 people into a 150 max club. I really don't know how we did it, but we ended up transforming it to a cocktail reception, and we provided seats for 80 guests at a table, and then an additional 40 to 50 at cocktail rounds. And it was hairy in the beginning, where people didn't understand that you don't have a seat at a cocktail reception. But by the end of the night, they were high-fiving and hugging me, and the guests, I mean, and Yami and Peter, you know, were married. And that's really all she wanted to do. There was just so many bumps all the way down. It was really sad. So that I would combine with the glue that saved that wedding, because I kept telling her, no worries, we can handle it. I did a wedding with 3 weeks notice. We had to secure all the rest of her vendors. The bride was actually pregnant, and they decided to have a quickie wedding. That was a quick one, but we have a quick turnaround time. I find that wedding planning itself isn't stressful, because I know the vendors to call, and I know the right vendors for that bride and that wedding, what they have planned. So that part isn't stressful. I find that brides are a little freaked out. They think they need that year of planning. So once they know that they don't need that year and that I can call someone in 5 minutes and it's done, they just relax right there. So I am the glue as far as keeping them together, so not so much as keeping the wedding itself together. So sometimes I have to keep myself together. There was one wedding that I had a wardrobe malfunction. The whole side seam of my dress, the zipper had popped. And it was during the time where I had to help guests create the bride's bouquet. She had pulled so many flowers from her mother's garden that I was helping them select blooms, and I was holding the blooms, and my dress had gone. And I had to excuse myself, run to my car, get a totally different outfit on, and get back in time to collect the rest of the blooms and create a bouquet and then get her down the aisle. That was where I needed some glue myself and some duct tape and maybe some thread. It was pretty bad. I was really embarrassed and humiliated, but I don't think anybody even noticed, except for me, of course. So that's a little bit of the glue. As far as unusual and unique weddings, that one bride that I had with the casino, I like to find out what my brides and grooms are into. A lot of grooms just cannot stand dancing. They find that they don't want to just sit at the table, and they don't want to be outside, and they don't want to just be dancing. They don't like any of those things. They're maybe introverts. I try to find out what they do like to do, and then we find a venue that has a separate room off, and we can set something up for them. Sometimes it's a lounge area for them. Sometimes it's a pool hall. We can set up a pool room for them. This guy loves playing Texas Hold'em. We set up a whole Texas Hold'em area, a roulette table, craps, all kinds of stuff. The guests loved it, so much so that we really shouldn't have done a separate room for him, because all of the guests wanted to be in this tiny little room, and it really should be in the main room. So that's something that I learned. Every single wedding, I learned something else. So that for sure. Family drama is one of the biggest issues that I come across, especially with that wedding. That wedding, we had a grandfather pass away. Not that should have caused family drama, but it seems like I've had two weddings where a main person, a main family member, a grandfather, and then the father of the groom passed away pretty soon before the wedding itself. And that